Okay, I can hear you. Why wasn't it turning up? There we go.
Right.
You hear me?
Of course I can hear you. Get that hat off. Get that hat off.
There you go. Look at that. Absolute. It's not actually that bad.
Yeah. Like this is what I was trying to tell Vin. Like,
let me move you over here.
Some people, they can shave their heads. You know, like when Brendan did it.
Yeah.
And he had that, that Walter White look going, and he looked great.
Yeah.
Well, for him it works. I know that if I tried it, it looked terrible, and I probably look like I've got leukemia or something serious.
Yeah, if you tried it, you definitely look like some sort of patient.
Yeah, with my figure, like, I haven't thought this through one sec. I'm pouring a drink out on my bed, and I just realised, why am I doing this? Yeah, I definitely, I look like I've got something wrong with me.
Yeah.
Whereas you're just perfectly in the middle. And it's like,
yeah, I do look like a completely different person, but like it's it's just weird, isn't it? I know you're not laughing out of like, oh, it's terrible. It's just weird, isn't it?
It's just weird looking. It was like when Brendan shaved.
All of that's going to be redacted.
To recap the last 2 minutes that didn't happen, Luke shaved his head. It doesn't look horrible.
Wait, am I going to be on video?
No, there's not going to be any video.
Oh, okay. Well, I shaved my head.
Yeah.
Definitely looks straight out of a West London gang.
It doesn't look good. It just looks.
It's there. I look a lot like my dad.
I know you've seen How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
On his wedding day, he just shaved his head.
Oh, they just do impulsive things just for the sake of it.
It doesn't feel like you should do it, but it's like, oh no, it has to be now.
That's pretty much what I did. I was kind of like, my song will definitely not get into the top 5. So, and I don't care enough about my hair to shave it. So I was like, fuck it, let's just do it. And it actually worked. And we're still
twice in my life have I seen someone do what you've done.
Bro, it's still in second place.
Really?
Yeah, it's still in second.
You did it when it was in 5th, then he went up to 3rd. Now it's in 2nd.
So I said in a Discord, in Duck's Discord server, I was like, there's Duckworth Sound for people who don't know. Shout out Duckworth Sound. Mm-hmm. I was like, if Whale House gets into the top 5 on Beatport charts, Beatport's basically like iTunes for people who don't have Apple and want an MP3 instead of an Apple thing. And I was like, yeah, if my song gets top 5, I'll shave my head. And so Duck was, fully behind it. And I was like, you know what?
That's where it went wrong. That's where
you lot will be fully behind it.
Yeah.
My lot back home would be fully behind it.
If you never mentioned that with Duck, and you just like if he doesn't exist in this scenario,
yeah,
I don't think enough people would have been like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll buy it. But because he said it, people that wouldn't necessarily have bought it now go, actually.
Exactly.
He's the type of person
that's the thing.
Who could share it and you go, oh yeah, I'll get behind that. Like there was a guy that I went to school with. I never really spoke to him. But I remember he shared something on Facebook when we were like in year 8. So it'd have been 13 then. And it was like, oh, it's great. If this post gets 1,000 likes, I'll drink my own piss.
Oh no!
Exactly. And you think like it's a 13-year-old kid. That just doesn't happen. But if the right person,
if the right person shares it, the right person shares it exactly.
Yeah. And Duck's just got the energy that would go.
Yeah, and he's got a US reach as well, which is really good. And that's what I mean. I just knew it would go well. And I didn't expect it to be in second. I didn't expect for it. So I released it last Friday.
Yeah.
Went through the weekend.
I just can't stop.
Just see it again. There you go. Look at that. I look like I'm about to go meth in my underground basement.
Have you seen American History X?
No.
It's the Nazi kind of it's modern century Nazi basically. It's got
Is that the level this podcast is going to?
Oh no, this isn't. No one's going to cancel me for referencing a film. Edward Norton's in it. It's actually quite a good film, but obviously the skinhead is a big thing, and I can't look at you without having this
I'm thinking of skinhead.
this young neo-Nazi kind of vibe.
Because my hair was quite long as well. Like it was actually starting to get to a point where it was like quite nice.
Like,
and now
I
I've just
need a
gone back
haircut,
to yeah. I don't know when they open again.
Would you have done it if it wasn't under normal like circumstances? Though that's all I want to know.
Like, would I have done it if? I don't know.
If you go and get a haircut, because I remember back in like this time last year. Oh, the guys were going, yeah, I'll just shave my head.
So you're saying if hairdressers were open, would I still?
If they were
open. Probably. But like, I always used to have like a skin fade, and then I sort of stopped going to get my hair cut around October. Then I was just like, fuck it, I'll just be like free and shit and just grow it out because I can't be asked to go and get my hair cut. So I probably would have done, but it wouldn't have had as much impact because I did have so much hair.
It's better to work as like not saying that your first thought was I'm releasing a single, therefore I've got to get like a marketing campaign, but it definitely.
I had to. I knew.
That now. What can you do?
I knew I had
an organ if you get number one. Like,
I knew I had to do some sort of big promo plan for it because, like, without being blowing too much smoke up my own ass, it is a really good song.
Yeah, it is. Like,
and I just sampling like
it is great.
Yeah, and I was just like, I've got to get it somewhere because my last song that came out on Yosh, I think it only got to like 70th or something.
Yeah.
So, which is just on me not knowing the industry like I do and knowing that these stupid promo plans actually work. And well, they do. Like you look online
because they do work.
Yeah, you look online.
You don't realize how well it works until your friend manages to make it.
Think about it even down to this level, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
If you share a funny meme on Facebook, you get 10 or 20 like. If you share something like a Just Giving page or like if you share something funny on Facebook or whatever, it gets so many fucking likes. But you share something serious, it doesn't get that much. God, like Just Giving or whatever. So it's just all about audience engagement. So I think I'm always trying to justify why I was so stupid, which is like how deep of a level I actually think without actually thinking like that.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely put so much thought into the jokes that I do or like the stupid promo things that I've done any other. Yeah, exactly. It's just being unique, I think.
Yeah.
Like.
You've definitely got that. I've seen, oh God. One day you're going to be playing these big festivals, you're going to be playing shows, and there's just going to be like an old photo that emerges of you in halls. Just like...
Yeah, but the thing is though, like, I don't care enough that it will probably be my visuals.
Yeah.
It will just, like, anything that could come out against me, I'll be like, it's my visuals.
Oh, God. It goes back a long way now, actually, doesn't it? I was there when you made your first mix at uni.
Yeah. It's 18 years old, 3 a.m, drunk in uni halls when I was...
What was that for? Was it for the Halloween?
It was for a Halloween thing. It was like the night before we were drinking or something, and they were like, we want a 25-minute mix. And so I did it on like a really shitty controller that I bought when I was like 17. And it had like a old iPhone dock. So, you know, like iPhones now, are like the Lightning or whatever. It was like... No, I think I sold it.
Yeah, I remember you definitely had it in third year.
I had it when we were living together, but I think I got rid of it or sold it because it was broken. And Chris, now my flatmate, has a Pioneer, like full on big old fuck off deck now, basically.
Yeah.
So we just use that.
Yeah, you still record on for CDJs or?
Well, they're basically CDJs.
Oh, fair.
Is what Chris has got, and like because me and him, whenever we DJ, we're doing it at the same time, give or take. I just use them. I don't need a mini controller. Like when I was, because obviously when I had that at like 18, it was like doing house parties or going to flat parties or going to random pubs.
Every single flat party. You took that everywhere with you. Now think about it.
Yeah, well, I just had it on me. This is the thing, and this is what's carried over into being just a producer, like having everything there. Like just to do it all spontaneous, because the most fun things are the spontaneous ones.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely.
Even down to songs, like even if I hark back to Whale House, like that song took me I think a day and a half, and I just started sampling Wales and David Attenborough and had so much fun with it. Like that's and then I remember
trying to explain this to someone like my grandma, it's just not going to work at all. But
that should be a game.
Yeah,
that should be a game on your podcast. Getting your guests to describe what they do like you're a 90-year-old woman.
I did have one thing that I was supposed to do, and that was actually to get you to bring on a drink, and I've got to guess what people would have. Dark fruit, I'm guessing. See, I was going to guess for you that it was either a Guinness or a JD Honey. So
I do have JD Honey, but I've been really on the ciders. Well, I drank lots of beer, but like it gets too like full on me, and I feel like with ciders, like if I want to just be like at some sort of mellow state.
I don't think beer's that good. Like I drink it, but I just can't drink.
I do like a beer like on a night out, but drinking it at home from a can feels wrong.
Yeah,
drinking dark fruit from a can feels like I'm at download, so I feel like I'm at home.
God, just made me reminisce. Can't believe we're going 2 years about download.
I mean, I haven't been to download since 2013, so I can't really talk.
Since 2016, but it's not that though. It's just the whole festivals in general. I know
festivals in general.
Yeah.
Leeds and Reading is happening, and Creamfields is happening, and both of them have sold out.
Yeah, that like before I could even consider, do I want to go? I think like Daisy or Jack put it in our group chat, and I was just like, wow, it's sold out already.
Yeah. Do you think it's a good idea that they're announcing it?
If the government's given the go-ahead that we'll be back to normal by June, I think end of August. It's like, cause that's like the latest.
That's a safe date.
It's the latest festival slot, isn't it? Whereas download is the complete other end. It's like sometimes it's before mid-June. So
I guess as well, because they have to think about setting it up. They can't set it up. They can't set it up while we're still in dates where we're meant to be locked indoors.
Exactly.
So, you know, for a festival like Reading and Leeds, they'd start setting up in July.
Don't get me wrong, like, I'm disappointed that I won't be able to go to download, and I am a bit disappointed that I won't go to Reading and Leeds, but I am still glad that they're going ahead, because, my God, I can imagine.
I think for an outdoor show, definitely, like, but there's a couple of indoor shows that have been announced already.
Yeah, I saw Architects put out, they're doing album release shows in August, and it's sold out in 3 seconds. Yeah,
there's a couple of club shows been announced, and I'm kind of like, it's a bit too hasty to be saying about club events.
You're almost a bit nervous.
I don't want to, like, it's a bit like, wait until at least the first or second review before announcing something, because people are going to snap it up. People aren't going to snap it up the day you announce that, like, we might be coming out of lockdown.
Exactly.
It's a hard one though, because a lot of festival and promoters have lost out. You know, Chris does Relentless, and
I was about to mention that actually. Like, I remember going into the last lockdown, you were so hyped for.
Yeah, so Relentless
I can't remember what the show was anymore, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's Moody Good.
That was it.
Yeah, so Relentless is Chris's promoter company, and we've worked together on it. I've helped him out with some stuff with it and stuff. And we had a show in March at Ministry of Sound, and then we were supposed to have a show in April, which was our first proper solo show.
That was my
come out with a bang. End of April.
Jack's birthday weekend.
Yeah, you and Jack's birthday weekend. And then, like, I remember it was like the end of March or like mid-March, and I woke up, or like I think the lockdown had just been announced or something, or I had a day off. Oh no, it was I had a day off from work because I was supposed to be going to a festival, Rampage, and I woke up on that day to the festival being cancelled, and then an hour later I got a call from Chris being like, Moody Goods not happening. It was just like, no. So yeah, like Chris had that booked. He had another one booked that we didn't even get to announce.
Did he lose money on them?
I'm not entirely sure, but I'd imagine. I think he still had the deposit for like venues and stuff, but I don't know. But hopefully, come June, there'll be some stuff happening. But it's all just a bit in the unknown, isn't it?
But I don't even want to think about,
thinking about it is the worst as well, because you get locked up in your own head, and then you will start to spiral. It's just you got to take each day as is, and
that's how I've been doing it for a while. Like I know that I don't have control of anything that happens, so you kind of go about things as they come. So like,
you don't have control, the government don't have control, no one's got control. We're like a Formula One car that's spinning on fucking its own oil. Just someone will stop us eventually, and whether that person dies or not, it doesn't matter, but we will stop and it'll be fine. That's
one way to put it, yeah. That's a very, very terrifying way to put it, but all the same. Jesus.
Is this worse than when Shaft came on?
Oh God, no. When me and Shaft, I'm surprised that we didn't just like fall into like serious laughter. I want to say that I've listened to it, but it's on YouTube, and that's annoying for me. Yeah, I'll get them on like Apple Podcasts and Spotify eventually, but yeah, please do. I want to listen. I'm not. Oh, does it? Yeah, it costs money to put them on. Like, you need a monthly license and stuff, and it costs more. Spotify membership. I wonder if you could use like DistroKid. I looked into it and stuff. It's basically like you need your own podcast server. Right. It's a weird way to explain it, but there must be like companies that do that for a monthly thing or something. Some of them, you get a very, very small amount of almost like cloud space. Like, right. So you could probably do like 5 podcasts. Yeah. You do 5 of them, and it's basically like your free trial, isn't it? So I'm not completely sure what I'll do yet, but well, I guess you got to get more guests on and stuff. Exactly, like until it even actually feels like it's going anywhere. Until this is just a bit of fun at the moment. Exactly, this is just an excuse for us to drink. Genuinely, mate, it's been 3 months since I did the one with Shaft. Like, this is exactly what it is. The whole reason I started it was because I was like, you know what, me and Chef have got a lot to talk about, and I'm sure that I've got some people I know that would love to talk some shit. Is it just going to be revolving episodes between me and Chef? I'm fine with that. I'm not even going to lie, I literally had this, like, joke with Chef before we did his, that I'd get Jack on. It'd just be an hour of him doing, like... an hour of him hitting a pillow with a drumstick. Do you remember when we were in the kitchen and he was just in front of that mic for like 5 minutes going... I do remember that. Do you remember he just had a bag of glass? Oh... Making him sound like a right serial killer, aren't we? Yeah, he just make funny noises in the house, walking around with his bag of glass. It's a big metal thunder sheet there. And his sack of gravel. Yeah, and his giant thunder gravel. Sheet. Yeah. Gravel that lived in the hallway for like 6 months. Sounds like the worst children's book. Well... full disclosure. This bit's getting cut out. Yeah. It's not. It's definitely not. Because it's definitely not. I'm just going to say that. No, but if I say that every time we make a bad joke, no one can like say anything bad about us. Exactly. I'll just be like, this bit's going to get cut out, and like it's not.
but the fact that I've said it is like all right.
Except for the beginning, that actually is getting cut out.
Yeah, that bit is getting cut out.
I made it all the way to the end with Shaft, and then he just unleashed. And when I mean unleashed, I really mean this like 0 to 100 just started using words. I'm like, Shaft, I'm gonna have to cut that. Like,
I meant to tell Shaft about this but like I forgot. But it's really cool that BBC introducing. They're doing like this like competition where you like send in a song and you get the chance to be on the live lounge, which is pretty cool.
That is actually quite good.
And it's like I feel like Shaft would like work for that. I was meaning to tell him, but I forgot. Yeah, they're like
one step away from being almost like an internet personality. That's probably a good time to mention that Shaft's actually sponsoring this podcast as well.
Thanks to our sponsor, Shaft Shadow Legends.
He sponsors every single podcast because that's the only way.
What does he sponsor you with?
Oh, just love and affection. And his parents gave us hospitality, so, you know, we kind of... That's
true, yeah.
But this isn't his podcast, it's your podcast.
It is my podcast, but I like Shaft.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like and retweet has been in my daily drive playlist for ages. Yeah.
Every now and then I put on... I've still got, you know, the old Drive the System EP still on my phone somehow.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
It's probably still on Spotify, to be fair.
I can't delete it. I've also got... My phone's full of weird things that I can't access and I don't know how to get rid of. Like, remember Flappy Bird?
Yeah.
I've still got Flappy Bird on my phone.
How?
I have no idea. Like, I've never removed it. I can't play it. Like, every time I try...
Drive the System's not on Spotify anymore.
Nah, it's not.
Damn it. Those were the days, man. One of the first songs that I ever put out is not on my Spotify and my SoundCloud anymore, but it was a shitty remix of Chemical.
You did a lot though back in first year. What was the one you did with the New Age Thrills?
I did a remix of their song as well.
Yeah.
I think. There's a lot of stuff I did back then, but I deleted it all.
Yeah, most of it's all like private on SoundCloud now. I'm sure
a lot of it I kind of got rid of because I changed from Batesy to Baitz, just getting rid of the hyphen, and because I'm such a high critic of myself. I say that every time we're at one of your shows. Bait-Z.
Yeah, I always say I knew this guy before he had the hyphen. So I said I know this guy.
I knew it.
The hyphen.
I knew him in the hyphen days. Yeah. But I was such a self-critic of myself that a lot of my old stuff from like when I was making it in uni, or even like I think I've put out a song while I was in Malaysia, and just all of that stuff because I didn't understand artwork or branding. I was just putting out songs for the sake of putting out songs. Yeah. And it just felt really like wrong. I don't like putting out songs just because I've got them. I want to like... I forget that I'm still like up and coming. I need to build a collection before just shitting things out because I've done this for
anyway. Like the amount that you progressed in terms of like
exactly. It's always improving.
Years. In 4 years, genuinely has gone by like
like that. And it's hard when you see people just come out of nowhere who are like 14 and you're like, how the fuck have you been doing that? But then you realise that they've literally been doing this non-stop since they were like 7. So it makes you feel better about it makes you feel better about
though, isn't it? Like morale.
Yeah, I know.
Just at home, it's like, oh, what are you doing today? Oh, just little. He's got his head set. Just get out literally making beats.
Exactly. Some people, I think because the producers are starting out so much earlier than when maybe we started out. Because like I always got into music. I was always into music from like 14, 15. But I would have a guitar. I didn't really know about making music on a laptop until I was about 16. And I discovered like music tech, and I discovered Logic. But like some kids now, like there's more Kisbit, they started producing when they were 7.
Yeah.
And now they're 14, 15 and like a pioneer in electronic music.
Exactly. This is kind of why, like, especially at the end of our degree and stuff, I was getting so sick of like these 50, 60-year-old lecturers talking about the industry. I'm like, you realise, like, obviously it's hard to look at someone like Pip Williams, who genuinely has done so much in that industry, and you just like, I respect you, but I don't like you.
I think we're in a weird age group where we weren't quite old enough to start out with electronic music. I'm going to say, I know you don't do it, but we weren't quite old enough to start out with everybody like your Flux Pavilions and that. But we weren't quite young enough to have access to a MacBook Air at the age of 6. Like we're in that weird group where it's just going to take that little bit longer for us to actually start to see our progression when we actually don't realize how far we've come. And especially for you as well, like from the stuff that you would do with your band to Farewell, like it's a massive improvement. And considering you did Farewell just yourself,
it's more about like, it's just how available technology is now, isn't it? Like when you think. I'm trying to think of putting this so it's not genre specific, and I'm trying to phrase this around not using a really generic mainstream artist like Skrillex. But actually, scrambling. Do you know in the it's not like a documentary really, but the making of Breaking a Sweat?
I watched that video. I watch that video like daily.
It always pops up in my recommend for some reason, so I end up. I fucking
love that video.
But there's the line that I can't get out of my head whenever like I think of this kind of stuff, where he says to Sonny, I can't remember who said it actually, but it's something on the lines of, when I was growing up, they always said that one day there'll be a kid that just makes music on his laptop, and I guess now you're that guy. And it's weird that 10 years ago, even then, that was just the start of it.
Yeah, I think it's technology rising up so fast that like we're not able to keep up with it, being 23, 24. But some people, were able to start out so young and have this access to this. It's just everybody's progression is so different.
Yeah, like,
and it's hard being about and not comparing yourself.
Yeah, of course. Which is well, this is what I was actually going to say about the end of our degree and stuff.
Yeah.
When we had lecturers saying stuff to us like hardware, equipment, and everything being done in a studio, and everything being done to this like high, what they would call the standard, and you've got to do it this way, and you've got to be using Pro Tools and all of this stuff, and you're like, well, yes, 30 years ago, but there is literally nothing that I can't now replicate with a laptop and a good interface. Like, I think Billie Eilish actually said this was this last year when she got God knows how many Grammys, that they did the majority of her record literally just on a MacBook with Logic plugins.
Yeah, they use stock Logic
and like £100 microphone.
Yeah, you should watch some videos from Phineas. He's a very he did a breakdown of like the vocal layering in.
Oh, I love vocal layering so much.
I think it's in Ocean Eyes. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on it. But like he does like a breakdown of all of her layers, and it's just like 15 layers of her vocals that they just recorded at different angles and different timbres and shit. I was
talking about this with Shaf. Like, it's stuff like that and like vocal stacking that's what got me into music production. What, like, going on YouTube, watching that kind of thing. It was literally like listening to old a cappella versions of like Linkin Park tracks. And obviously nowadays, I always reference what's the artist called? Somebody that you used to know. Goethe?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name.
Know the song.
I know who you mean.
That's my that's it. That's my talent on camera.
Buy the Farewell EP.
It's only like $150. You get my.
I bought it. It's in my driving It's in my driving playlist.
Get my entire EP for the price of your single that I paid on Beatport.
Was it like £1.15 on Beatport?
Yeah, because it charged tax, and I was like,
"Oh, it does, yeah." Apparently, Beatport's used a lot by like I was reading up about it. I think it because they offer MP3, so it's like used across. It can be used across all different computers. You know, if you don't have iTunes, like where else are you gonna fucking buy your tracks? You buy them on Beatport, and like it's good getting in the top 10 because people bulk buy the top 10.
I still know so many people that don't pay for music.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people rip music. I used to be a victim of that. I think we all did.
Mate, we used to rip music for our radio show.
Yeah, I know. We would. And I didn't realise how bad that was until, like, I learned. I think it was actually in one of the only things I think I learned from uni, like, the different fight, like, how sorry, I lost my fucking words then.
You were about to say, one of the few things I learned from uni when I was getting a degree on how to go into the music industry was just how badly screwed over the music industry is.
No, I mean, like, I was gonna say about files like ripping files like MP3s or WAVs. They have different sounds to them.
Yeah,
like you can tell the difference between a bad rip of a song and a good quality audio file.
Sure you can.
I didn't realize the difference between them until I did my monthly organizing my iTunes library, and I was literally like, not monthly, maybe like yearly.
Yeah. I remember
one of the first
room once, and it was just you just kind of turned around like you just killed someone. And I was like, "You okay?" And you were like, your eyes just like you're about to cry. It's going, I don't know where half of my files are. And since that day, I've just been like, yeah, whenever he's doing that, I'm not getting involved.
Yeah, because I've had to like swap files over and laptops and hard drives, and my iTunes library was about 6,000 songs, and I had to whittle it down and shit. But yeah, like doing sorry, I don't know why I just absolutely lost my trail of thought.
That's literally what I'm here for, so that we can make this podcast look as professional as possible.
As professional as possible. I'm gonna get another drink first. I think that's a good idea.
I'm going through this like it's Coca-Cola. I'm not gonna lie. I am.
Hang on, I'm gonna get another drink and go to the toilet. Hang on.
Whalehouse.
There we go. We're back.
I spent a good 20 seconds ripping into you in the hope that you'd be able to hear it, but I realised that you couldn't, so I just stopped.
No, because I've got my headphones plugged in like a normal good citizen.
Another dark fruit of you. Oh, I thought you were going to change things up.
No, I've got 4 dark fruits. I've gone through 2. I'm on a good level.
White peach gin on the go.
You're on the gin now, are you?
Oh, I've always been on the gin because I'm a 4-year-old girl. I mean, 14-year-old girl. What kind of
4-year-old girl?
What kind of a 4-year-old girl drinks gin? Yeah, basically, Ribena is exactly the same as Gordon's white peach gin when you think about it.
That is true. It's basically the same thing. They might as well sell them the same.
Good luck. I mean, that is strong.
Oh dear. This podcast's about to get crazy.
Any professionalism I had was only for one episode. And even then.
It's questionable.
No one really cares. I'm just attaching a good old chat to...
I guess you haven't really been able to do much with the production booth, considering...
Oh, literally nothing. Like that, honestly, as soon as we were in lockdown, I was like, yeah, this is probably it for a while.
Yeah.
I remember when I was... I went back to my mum's in lockdown 1. So this was like, last June?
Yeah.
It is actually not that closer to next June than we are last June. Good lord. I remember getting a message on Instagram, someone saying, "Oh, can I do a voice reel with you?" I was like, "Really, really sorry, but I'm not in London, and also, are you aware that you can't exactly come over to my bedroom and record?"
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think from that point, I was like, anyone that messages me, I'm just going to be like, I'm not even going to be blunt with them. I'm just going to be like, straight up, no. Like,
yeah.
Like, if for some reason you think I've got a studio, then you're wrong. But
it's just your house, and you've got to be worried. Even if it was a studio, like, you can't you can't have other people come over like that. Like,
Vin's got my mic at the moment, my good recording mic, and so I was tempted earlier to record with an SM58. I haven't used it in God knows how long. Are you just
recording off your laptop?
Yeah, I'm just recording off this headset.
Oh, fair.
It's just going to be the best audio you've ever heard, but
it's going to be great.
I'm genuinely not that bothered. But
they can deal with it. all five people.
The dirty little consumers can put up with it.
Brilliant. Wow, that gin's really hit hard. Very quick, right? One sip equals one audience of views.
This is what I want. This right here, just straight up
real. Me and my bald head.
I
forgot about it, didn't you?
I hadn't forgotten.
Yeah, I have the hat. I forget.
It was on the back.
I forget sometimes. I wake up in the morning, I keep touching my head, expecting there to be something there, and there's not. I've got to go to work tomorrow.
You say that like you're just going to touch your head and the entire thing's gone? Like you just, I forgot.
It's like a squishy bowl.
Like a headless chicken. Just.
I've got to go to work. I've got to go to work tomorrow. I've got to go into other people's houses. I'm fucking bored.
I was trying to avoid that subject, but
no, it's fine.
Is that any better?
What?
Is that any better? Like,
what do you mean? Is that any better?
Obviously, some of the stories you've told me about people not understanding. Like, my husband's got it. I'm not using the word. I'm literally not using the word.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forget we can't use that word.
Yeah, it's banned.
Yeah, but no, it's fine considering the situation.
Yeah.
Because I'm not actually going into people's houses. People bring the dogs to the door.
Yeah. It was that story you told me about the woman that went, Can you come in? My husband's got it, but don't worry. Like,
yes, a family got the situation and were like. And they were like, you should walk my dog. And I'm like, but you've got the situation. I can't. And they were like, what? How dare you? And then they left.
I remember when I had the situation.
Yes,
I had the situation for the best 7 days you could get.
Thought as well that you had the situation plus.
Situation plus.
But the test didn't arrive.
No, that's another conversation.
Yeah, Jesus. I'm really surprised I haven't had it. But then again, I was thinking, like, I've heard a lot of stories and a lot of I listen to a lot of podcasts of like Joe Rogan and stuff, and he has a lot of health experts who say that the best way for like a healthy immune system and to battle the situation is. That's what we've got to call it. Otherwise,
I'm loving it. No, I'm loving it. I'm going to clip like a good 2 minutes of this and
of me just talking about the situation. But I completely forgot what I was fucking saying.
The situation, Luke.
The situation. So So there's a lot of health experts that are saying about if you have. The situation, the best way to combat it is with lots of vitamin D and vitamin C. And
mate, you would not believe it. In the week that I had it, literally all I was getting was Vin going, here, have some vitamin D tablets. Here, like, gargle some vinegar. I was like, I don't want to do that.
No, you do need a lot of vitamin D, because vitamin D, you get a lot from sunlight. And
I've been missing the sunlight.
Yeah, this is this is one of the problems. Like, to have a good immune system, you need at least an hour's sunlight a day.
Yeah.
To get the right amount of vitamin D from the sun, you know, and all the other fucking vitamins and shit that they give you, as well as supplements, you know, from milk or whatever. But the fact that people have been locked inside means that they've been missing out on this kind of
the good
natural vitamin D, and also on like nice foods and veg and stuff like that. So it's a combination of that with a virus that is so random and so unknown.
Yeah.
Like, it is so, just don't know what you do. But like, getting the right amount of vitamin D, and as well like zinc and quercetin, I think, is another vitamin supplement that's going to be good for you. And I was thinking,
you've been reading into the situation.
I have been doing a lot of because I'm driving around.
Yeah. I was going to say, of all the people I know, you are actually one of the only people that's working through all of this.
Yeah, because I'm driving around. I don't go into other people's houses, and I'm out walking for 2 hours a day, and I've not been sick yet. Like, it's been great. And whilst throughout, I've just been listening to like loads of different podcasts and information about it. So it's been a weird time, and it's definitely hit home a lot. But I'm grateful that I'm still working. I'm grateful I can still do music alongside it.
Yeah.
Want to see my friends.
Literally, I was thinking the other day, I think it's April 12th, pubs open.
Yeah.
But I probably won't go back till like May, because we don't have a lot of outside spacing.
Outdoor space, yeah.
Which means for a good 3 or 4 weeks, maybe.
We're going to go and watch every single Premier League game.
Mate, honestly, that's all I've been doing. You thought I was bad on fantasy football. Like, what do you think I've been doing? What do you think I've been doing now? Like,
oh God, you've definitely you've started fantasy football for the local Sunday league, ain't you?
Sunday league.
You're just betting on like Teddington Football Club.
Yeah, big Jim playing for Hampton. He's doing all right this year. No, in all seriousness, though, like, today is a perfect example of United beat City 2-0 at the Etihad.
Yeah.
Ending.
Can I say here for the edit, if you want to skip past Tom talking about the fantasy football, you can click this. You can click this time link.
I'm not even going to go into that. I'm just going to. I mainly wanted to go into the fact that you're a Liverpool fan, and
if you want to skip Baitz being humiliated by his football team being the shittest football team on planet Earth, skip to this time link.
God, that's all I was really going for. Like,
they're doing so bad.
Yeah, it's
and you're a good day because United beat fucking City.
Not only that, I captained Harry Kane today, who's got 2 goals and 2 assists. So I am literally on top of the world.
You're living the dream, mate.
I can't podcast with Luke. I've done really well in my fantasy football. I'm drinking pink gin, no peach gin, that's it. The only thing that kind of got me down today was I had a curry earlier, and I thought it was tikka masala until I checked the jar, and it was Madras.
Oh.
which is a lot spicier.
Yeah.
And, I can't do spice.
No, not at all. I can't do spicy.
I'll never forget. Oh, I'm gonna do well not to mention spice. Sorry, not to mention Malaysia every time I do a podcast.
But there's so many memories for us. Like, honestly, that's a memory that will stay with us for fucking years. Like, the fact that the fact that me, you, and Jack just went, fuck it, Like we're never really the type of people to travel much anyway. I feel like the furthest I've gone is the south of France. I went to Australia, but like we're very normal people.
That was the first time that I ever. Oh, no, it wasn't actually.
It was the first time I'd gone away on my own.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, it was the second time that I went away on my own. I went to Amsterdam with Vin a few months before, but like I've been to Amsterdam like probably 6 times. So, full disclosure, like that was with family, like. Just in case anyone's listening that thinks I want
your mum wouldn't let you. Your mum would not let you 10 miles away from the red light district.
Mate, you're so wrong there. She walked us through it when I was like 8.
Space cakes in each hand.
No, I had
just 8-year-old you seeing dragons come out the ceiling.
Oh, I can't wait to go back and edit this and just have like so many things. I'm like, why didn't we talk about that?
Why didn't we?
Like, where did this come from?
We've gone through so many topics, but that's what the best podcasts are.
Like, yeah. If you think there's any plan to this, there isn't.
No, there's not.
And the best thing is because it's all one audio file, it's going to be insanely easy to edit.
Exactly.
So
they're the best podcasts. That's why I listen.
If you want right now, you could go on a tangent for 15 minutes, say, on the time that you hit a 14-year-old.
Did I? I didn't hit a 14-year-old.
You defended my.
You fucking hit a 14-year-old.
No, I didn't.
You went for him.
Yeah, but I missed. Should we talk about this?
Oh my god!
In all seriousness, no. We have to talk about it now. Because there's more questions.
That's another story I'll remember for the rest of my life.
I'm saving probably the main of that story for your wedding day.
The main of it?
Yeah. The Brit Awards.
Yeah. Just siphoning drinks. It was Vin, wasn't it? She was playing there, but it wasn't really playing there because she had 2 SM57s plugged into a CDJ. And it was kind of like, okay, but like all the drinks were well expensive and I was broke.
Whenever people ask, I tell this story sometimes, like, the time that I was at the Brit Awards and everyone's like, oh, why was it expensive? I'm like,
it wasn't really the Brit Awards though. It was
exactly like, that's kind of why
it was an after party.
We hit a point where we could either be a bit upset that, Lewis Capaldi's not here, or we could go round and finish off everybody's drinks that they don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I got a few glasses of champagne. You got more than a few glasses of champagne. I got some vodka cokes.
I remember you, me, and Vin in a triangle because it's not a circle. There's only 3 of them.
Yeah.
And you turned around, just grabbed something off a table, and then a woman, and then you just had this eye contact with me, going, "Please tell me that they didn't see that." And this woman goes, "Has anybody seen my drink?"
I remember it was literally like a full glass of something with Coke, and I just absolutely swiped it.
Thing is, I will defend this. I'm not paying.
I drunk that night.
I'm not paying 15 quid for a double Captain Morgan's and Coke. So that is the one time that I'm never going to tell my kids to do this, but that's the one time where I've gone, if you see a drink and no one's attending it,
it's dangerous to do that, though.
It's very dangerous to do that. However, that's the one time in my life where I say goodbye to all sensibility and logic, and I thought, I'm going to save 15 quid here.
Yeah. It's all right. There was no one famous there.
There literally wasn't, which was...
I think there was some girl from Towie, so, if I took money from her wallet, fuck her. I'll take her drinks all day. This is the best podcast.
Do you know Vin still gets messages to this day from... do you know we got her, to go on get guys to buy drinks for her.
Oh yeah.
She still gets messages to this day from people that we met at that party.
That is amazing.
How funny is that? Like,
that is so funny. I forgot that.
I'm in London. What are you doing? She's like, who are you? Oh my God, Tom, it's this guy from the Brit Awards after party. Like, it's so funny.
Literally, that whole experience. I think it was like, I think we thought it was going to be a lot more than it was. Yeah. But it ended up just being so fucking stupid funny.
The night is what you make it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And which is why I need to go back and just disclose Luke didn't punch a 14-year-old.
I didn't punch a 14-year-old, but we were at the bus stop.
They were going home. I don't even know what was going through their minds when they came over.
They were like 13, 14-year-old kids, and they were like,
it's like 4 o'clock
hanging around. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning in King's Cross.
No, we're at Paddington.
Paddington, sorry. Yeah, we're at a bus stop.
We were off to get the tube, then we realised it's a Wednesday night.
Yeah, it was like 3 a.m. and we were like getting the bus, waiting for the bus, and there were these kids over the road, and one of them just shouted. So I just go, ah! Like, no sense of attack. And then they just come over and start trying to fight us. Yeah. And they're like 13.
I literally, like, I know this isn't professional at all, but I cannot repeat the stuff that they were saying, like, especially to Vin. Like, they
were saying some horrible shit to Vin. Yeah. Like, they were being super degrading. So obviously, me and Tom like stood up, but it was like, looking back on it, it was really funny because we were really drunk. And like, if you actually know what we look like, we don't look like the type of people who could easily take on a 14-year-old kid. Like, if you put us up against a 14-year-old kid, it would be a flip of the coin type scenario as to who would win.
I remember playing football when I was 14, and you know, every now and again, you'd end up playing against someone, you're like, you're not 14, you look like my dad. These were not those kind of people, and we are not those kind of people. They were as 13-year-old.
They were as 13-year-old, and we were as pussy as you can make out. But they did try and start on us, and we were like trying to like fight them back, but like not really fight them back. We were just like really drunkenly like flailing at them, and like I just remember Vin jumped.
In your left hand, you had a KFC burger, and in your right hand, like, do you know, like when someone's throwing a punch, like,
yeah,
you almost had something in your hand, like a hammer, and you were hitting them like that, like downwards rather than front, like back to front. So in one hand, you've got like a KFC burger, and with the other one, you're like trying to defend my honour, and you just fling yourself at a lamppost.
I'm pretty sure I remember you actually lunging for one of them and nearly not getting on the bus, because me and Vin got on the bus and Vin was like, hi, can you get going? These kids are trying to like fight us. And he shut the doors as you were outside the bus, and we were like, no, let him on.
That bus driver said absolutely nothing, which is either like he's so used to this, like,
yeah, he definitely
the 3 a.m. through Paddington, or he's just like just does not want to get involved. And either way, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
that was full respect.
Like, full respect to that guy. I hope those kids have failed their GCSEs.
We got on the bus. No one said anything for like 2 minutes, and there's a lot of people that don't even speak to us. No one even asked what was going on.
Nah, no one cared.
This was a populated bus, I should say.
It was quite full for
3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. So when
we just sit down.
When they've seen what's happened, we get on the bus. No one says anything for like 2 minutes, and then Luke just goes, "I just fought a 14-year-old."
And then I fell asleep. It's a great time.
Oh, that was such... That was one of the few things that I put a note down to say that I'm going to mention that. Oh,
That was a good night, though.
there's few nights that I look back on and go, I wish I could do that again, despite it not going the way it should have.
Like what?
Like, do you remember? Of course, you remember. You were playing the time at Lady C's castle. I can't remember who's with Samurai.
It was. I think it was Mark's.
Yeah. You went down ahead of time. Me.
You caught the train and then got the train back home.
No, we got a shared taxi down.
Oh yeah.
From outside Victoria with people, like a shared bus.
Yeah, that's right.
But me and Vin hadn't eaten, and we massively overestimated how. I know you said it. Like, there's nothing around Tom, so like, make sure you've eaten. But we had like a sandwich and thought we'd be good to go.
Yeah, nah.
And then I'd had like 2 Jaeger bombs in this castle in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, I'm drunk. And it's like 8 o'clock. And we were there till like 6 a.m.
Yep.
That was one of the nights where me and Vin kind of looked at each other like, we've really messed up here. I think, we've really messed up. But
that was a good one. That I remember. I remember playing those Samurai nights. They were good fun.
It's when we got there, and these really, really thin castle windows were just shaking back and forth.
Yeah,
that was terrifying. Lady
C's castle. No one knows who she is unless you've seen I'm a Celeb.
Even then, I don't even know who she is. I don't even watch I'm a Celeb.
She was literally on that, and she's like some rich woman who owns a castle in like Brighton, and we hired it out for a party, and we did it twice.
Yeah,
it was fucking sick.
I genuinely enjoyed that so much.
Yeah, those were the first kind of proper gigs that I ever got were with Samurai.
Yeah. I remember when you first started, like, we're going to wrap the podcast back around to when you did that first mix for the Halloween party.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we were talking about that.
Yeah, that feels like an hour ago now, doesn't it?
Probably.
Since then, you've had so many, like, little... Or how do I put this? Like, with Michael and the SU, it kind of all grew from there. Then you moved on to Samurai. Then you got involved with, like, more heavily with, like, Duck and whatnot. And since then, it's kind of... Even to the point where you nearly went out to China.
Nearly, but that very much fell through. That was basically a kid who just had a lot of money who wanted to book.
Can you imagine if you did go out there now, thinking about it?
I don't think I would ever have gone out there at the stage I'm at. I'm still like an up and comer.
Oh no, I just know, like, because of the timing of it, you'd have been out there potentially around of the situation.
Yeah, probably. China's got a huge audience. It would be cool to go there, but like, yeah, that booking was just not the one. It was just a kid who had quite a lot of money, but I think it all fell through in the end, which was a shame. But we did meet up with him, and he was really nice. A guy called Max. But yeah, no, nearly went out there, and it is cool to remember like that first mix that I did, and then sitting here now with like
to reminisce on it, like
yeah,
all the way to David Attenborough's whale commentary.
Exactly, and it helps as well starting out doing that DJing, because you can that type of DJing compared to DJing at like a ministry, you can really see how to control a crowd.
Yeah,
like doing uni gigs, you have to literally be on the fucking ball, even if you're pissed out. Even if you're pissed out your mind drunk, which I always was. Like, you have to make sure you can like tell when you're losing a crowd, and bring it back, and playing the right amount of a genre throughout a night, and not making it too weird, and knowing like the different popular songs are about. It's hard work, but it helps when you're putting a set. I still do that now.
Yeah.
When I'm putting a set together now, I still think back to when I was at uni, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I need to look at what songs are popular now and keep an eye on it and really make a set that's gonna, you know, make people be like, you know, I know this song, and then it goes into something completely that they don't fucking know. And that's what I feel like I was good at the uni gigs.
Yeah, definitely.
Is playing a song that was popular, and then it goes into something completely absurd that makes people go, like, lose their mind because they've just snorted 3 lines of coke in the West 5 bathroom. I
have literally never seen anything bad at West 5, and I almost feel like I was incredibly lucky.
I'm pretty, mate, I feel like we just weren't with the right crowd. Like, surely.
Oh, we weren't with the wrong crowd?
We weren't with the wrong.
We
West 5
at the same time, and that was
beautiful.
No, it's the gigs that you got because of playing at uni for me. Remember when you went to play at that pub, and
that
sounded really northern. Forgive me.
No, I remember.
And you said a Spotify playlist on.
Yeah, so like doing uni gigs, like, it was fun, but I think after a while they started getting some more DJs in, so I was not quite at a point where I was like doing anything producing wise. But I remember this pub reaching out and being like, hey, we want to do like some nights, we know that you DJ at the uni, we'll give you £100, come down for like 3-4 hours and just like play some music, we'll have people on dance floor. But this good. Pub,
when I remember at uni, £100 for a night, that was...
Yeah, it was pretty, it was good. It was good money, for considering that all I was doing was sitting there to a room full of 5 people sat at tables and 5 people half dancing on a dance floor. Like, it was this pub, it wasn't a very popular pub. Like, and it was like seated area for like eating and stuff, but
yeah,
like, it was laid out like a restaurant, but it was a pub, and they didn't do food.
But they don't really know what they are. Like, remember when we went to was it While She Sleeps in Kingston, and afterwards, where do we go? Spoons.
Spoons.
Go on then. And that Spoons by day is like half pub, half restaurant, and then by evening it's a nightclub.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. It was just looked like a restaurant where they'd put up speakers in the corner. And I sat there with my little controller that I was telling you about, and it was connected to my laptop, and I started out by actually DJing. Like, I was actually doing shit. And then I got so fucking bored, and I was like, oh, wait, I can connect my Spotify to come out of the speakers. So I was basically like playing a song, and someone would request something, and I'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll put it on Spotify, and then like turn that down and then have the Spotify on for if I like needed a fag or to go to the toilet or whatever. And I was like, yeah, and I put it on because on Spotify you can do like the 12-second crossfade.
Yeah.
So right at the end of one song, the next song starts and it just crossfades over into each other. And yeah, I basically just cheat. I got £100 for it. And I did that like 4 or 5 nights on the trot. Well, not on the trot, but I did that like 4 or 5 times before they eventually were like, yeah, this is not good. And now they're like just a restaurant.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a gig.
But going on to the real gigs.
Yeah,
the
good ones with Samurai.
I have never been so happy. Oh, not even Samurai. I'm talking Printworks.
Oh yes,
I'm talking Printworks and Ministry. Like, I was so happy when I saw you at Printworks.
Yeah, that Printworks show.
Sound of that rail.
Yeah, mate. I still watch videos of that on the daily, of just hearing that rail fucking just hammering down. That whole night was just absurd. Like, it started at like 12 and it was like Virtual Riot, and then there was a bunch of other DJs on. Yeah, bunch of other DJs, and then it got to like 8 o'clock and we were on. in the second room at the same time as like Alice in Wonderland, and we were like, "Oh, sure, our room won't get that busy," and it was like,
it
packed,
was pretty
full
packed.
to the brim.
You wouldn't even be able to see how busy it was. Like, genuine. I remember at one point I was stood with your mum and dad. Your dad ran into the pit. And I had to stay by your mum so that no one hit your mum from the pit. I was like, this.
That was so nice to see so many people come together for the heavier side of music. Like, that was a point where I knew, like, the heavier side of bass is back in England. That night just absolutely solidified it to me, and anyone who says anything different is wrong.
It was when you were kids, I remember watching Marauder at the end.
Yeah, I was. It was so because I put so much effort into that show, and we'd been planning that with me and Chris like for ages, and we didn't expect it to be as well as it does. And obviously, like, Chris had booked all the headliners around it, Virus Syndicate and A-Trip, and it was a very, very emotional moment. And I know it's probably like, you know, it's not the biggest thing, but it's the biggest gig at that time for me, and that was just it was amazing. So far, but it was incredible, and that feeling of playing a live show is so much better than actually being at a live show. Like, now that I play shows, I hate being on the dance floor. I so much prefer, like, I feel so awkward on the dance floor, you know, you just bumping into people.
Yeah, I'm awkward on the dance floor as it is.
Yeah, I just much prefer standing at the back with a couple drinks, watching someone from the side stage and going mental with like your mates at the stage, and seeing people go mental on the floor without actually being there. It's better for me, because I don't like people.
I cannot wait for gigs to come back. Like, there's so many that I am looking forward to. Like, what is the best gig you've been to?
Oh, fuck. Probably. Really, I should say some sort of dubstep show. If it's electronic dance music, it's probably the Never Say Die label night.
Yeah, it's two different experiences, really. Isn't it?
Yeah, there was a Never Say Die night, December 2019, and it was like Zomboy, Tramper, Space Laces, Odd Prophet, Bad Clot, some other people, and it was just mental. It was at Electric Brixton, and I just remember there being so many different groups of friends that I was just running around Electric Brixton and dancing the whole night, and basically just being high off adrenaline. So that's probably the best night electronically, but like overall, because I listen to a lot of shit outside of electronic, it would probably be Enter Shikari, either at the UEA in Norwich or at Ali Pali, or when we saw them at Slam Dunk. One of those three.
Did you see them Ali Pali the year before? No, you saw them with me, didn't you, actually?
Yeah.
Or did you go
I'm pretty sure we went to Ali Pali twice. Or am I bullshitting?
I think
maybe I've only been once.
I think they played Ali Pali in 20.
They played Ali Pali before the Spark.
Yes, because we saw them.
Which is when we went. Yeah.
Well, I remember we saw them at Slam Dunk, where they did the full Take to the Skies.
Yeah.
Show, and then
that was brilliant. When
we saw that, I remember we looked at it. We have to go to Ali Pali, and somehow that topped it. I
know. I don't know how. Honestly, they are one of my. I remember coming out of it, and I was in my Enter Shikari. I have a Slipshod T-shirt.
Yeah, that's a white one. That's too small.
It was just dripping.
It was too small for you then, let alone.
I mean, it's never too small for me.
Was it not?
No. It always fit pretty well.
The small white one.
It had like them as the cartoon from Slipshod on it.
Oh, maybe it's. I know there's one T-shirt that you were wearing at one
It was too small.
that was like you going, this is the only one I've got of this band, but I'm going to wear it because
It might have been like, I can't remember. I really can't remember.
Alexandria, actually.
It might have been Asking, but I only remember seeing them with you.
We saw them before in Parkway.
Oh, we saw them. Yeah, Parkway and someone else. Yeah, it might have been them.
Parkway and
was it Parkway?
Yeah, it was Parkway and Stick to Your Guns. I think it was.
Yeah,
it was a good show actually. But anyway, yeah, that end of Shikari. They're one of those bands. Know how to put on a show.
Huh?
They just know how to put on a show. Like,
yeah, they're just one of those bands that musically they're incredible, lyrically they're top tier. They're combining of like British.
You're
not
a lyric person.
No, not really.
So when you say like lyrically, you love them.
Yeah, lyrically they're awesome. I know to Lost Jigsaw Pieces, like lyrically is beautiful.
The Spark is very underrated.
Yeah, it's very underrated.
If you listen to the album once, you don't really know the album.
No.
Like
yeah, like they
even the music videos kind of like make the album. Like everything is so much deeper than just face value.
Yeah, it's a very, very underrated album from them. And lyrically as well, it's really, really good. There's just everything about them's perfect. Like there's genre blending as well. Like the Jester is such a good hype song, combining like drum and bass with like rock and stuff. And Zonk's probably a better example of like drum and bass with metal.
They played that Ali Pali, and I remember we went mental.
They did the Jester. They did
like the 4 tracks in like.
Yeah, they did Slipshod into Jester. They did Slipshod into Jester, and that sent me sideways because they're like my top 2 songs by them because they're so stupid. Like, I wanna end a show on the Jester.
Yeah,
like that ends bit, you know, because it's so like it's so British. And then it like right at the end he's like saying like, oh, that was great. My compliment. He was like, oh, that was great. My compliments to the chef. I'm very satisfied. He does this whole like speech bit at the end of it. It's like fine cuisine. I just think ending a show with that, like that end bit from the like electronic bit, not the whole song, but from the
I know what you mean. Just going into that last
as a last song for an electronic music gig, just I think would blow people out the water. Yeah. People would just be like, "What the fuck?" I'm
surprised you haven't done like a serious Shikari like remix. To be honest, I
really struggle with remixes. I'm still trying to find my sound a little bit. I've only just. I don't know if you know. I'm not on Logic anymore.
Yeah. I remember you saying you.
I've just moved to Ableton, and I'm still. I wish I did it earlier.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find my sound, especially with like intros and stuff. So I'm not very good at remixing, and because I don't have like stems or anything for it, I'm not very good at remixing without stems. Although there is a good website for getting stems, which I found out about recently. But I also feel like they're songs that I don't really. I'm attached to the songs too much.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't think there are bands that you can remix. I'd love to work with them. Not that will ever happen, Raoul, if you're listening. Well, you're not listening.
So this is going to be clipped as well.
Yeah, this is getting cut. I'd love to work with them, and I really don't know why more EDM artists don't try and work with them, because they've only done one.
In recent time, you're seeing a lot more link between genres of those kinds, especially like people like Phase One have done it.
Phase really One well. And North Lane, Phase One did collaborations with North Lane and Thy Art Is Murder.
Yeah, that was
interesting. I think he did a song with In Hark's Wake as well.
Yeah,
but he's very good at genre blending that way. Like, but that's with like pure, like, I guess, like, he did with like periphery, like math rock, with both of those styles of really super heavy bro step, dubstep kind of shit with that industrial metal, I guess is what it is.
Yeah.
Modern metal works really well because the drum kits are basically the same.
Yeah.
Whereas like an Enter Shikari would work. It's raw. Yeah. It's a lot raw and it works well. They do like they did a Hospitality remix of what was the album with Anaesthetist on it?
Minesweep.
They did Minesweep. I
always forget. I always call that album Anaesthetist for some reason.
So do I, yeah. They did the Minesweep. They did it as a remix album with Hospitality, who are a D&B label. Yeah. And that works. Like Eder Shikari and D&B absolutely works. But I think
because they do their own like DJ set as well, don't they?
Yeah, Shikari sound system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Love to see that.
I always see them now and again on like a Freshers event.
Yeah.
And I just think, how on earth have some people got that level of like...
I feel like we got absolutely robbed by our...
Yeah, this is what I was going to say. I remember we got like... What was his name? Lewis something? And you were saying his name for like a solid week. It was like... No, it was Dan Kaplan. Dan Kaplan. You remember for a solid week?
Didn't I play at that?
Yes, which was made it even funnier.
Our first year of Freshers, like it wasn't bad, was it? We got Lethal Bizzle, but it wasn't even our Freshers event.
No,
it was King's College,
yeah,
or something like that, or Kingston College.
It was Kingston, yeah.
So our main uni event was just us borrowing someone else's uni event. Like apart from that, we just had like shit at Freddy's bar or whatever, and or me. It was to see that, not me.
Just how some of these artists end up playing student union bars and how these student union bars end up like...
I mean, we can't knock them. We can't knock them because they're probably making more of a living than we are.
Oh no! I'm giving them full credit. Is what
full impressed. GG, 10 out of 10.
Like I'm jealous. Is what I'm trying to say. Like how they've managed to get that standard, and we got. Do you remember the Wall Street night that we had at uni?
The Wall Street night, yeah, I do. Where it was all like pre-recorded drink rises and falling,
which was such a great idea until you've been queuing for 45 minutes just to get 4 Jack Daniels and Coke, because they went to like £1 while I was literally at the bar, and I was like, go on then. So I got 4 JD and Cokes. The syrup had run out and the gas had gone. So I basically got Jack Daniels and water. I have literally, from that point, I was like, nah, absolutely done with this Freshers event.
Yeah, legit. I need another wee again.
I'm glad you said that, because so do I. I see you too.
Whalehouse.
Just for like 5 seconds.
Oh no, put it with Whalehouse. Come on, get a few more buys on Beatport.
As long as I don't get copyright strike for it, because you know YouTube is.
I'm sure you won't. I'll ask the label. I'll put in a good word. I don't know how it all works. I generally don't know how half of like the industry works. I feel so behind with it. Like, just so much stuff that you hear from like how songs are made and who made. I'm just like, I don't know like the half of what goes into it. Like, I just make music for the fun of it. I don't really know where that's gone.
Yeah, exactly. Remember when we started this and it was like, oh yeah, I'm going to release a song next week. The quickest turn. But
that's how you start out with it. That's how everyone starts out with it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You make something and you're like, this is the best thing to ever exist in the entire world. The whole world must hear it. And so you just put it out when you make it because you're impatient.
I'm so glad that I didn't release anything when I was like 16. Like, looking back, it's all I wanted to do. But oh my god, like if I'd have released some of the early, I've still got demos lying around on my computer that are just.
But I think that's where me and you are very much perfectionists in music. Like, we don't release much because we're so picky about our work. Like yeah. I bounce out 10, 20, 30 different versions of a song before I decide that I want to delete the whole project. Like,
yeah, I know. I already know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, we're just so perfectionist about it, and I feel like I've kind of come around to it, but building up a collection of songs and knowing when a song's done, and just knowing that music's subjective, and you might not like a song, but someone else might. Making music so that there's 7 billion people in the world. At least one person's gonna like your shitty track.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just build a good collection and find out your sound. Don't release everything, but don't release nothing.
I'm sitting on 2 tracks at the moment, which I'm going to release with Vin. As I'm saying, actually, I'm working on one of Vin's tracks, and I have to get those released this year, because at the same time as I'm thinking like you, until it's ready, I'm not going to release it. It's almost a year since I put out my EP.
Yeah, but I think, I get you. But like, starting out as an artist, I think you need to find the
longer you wait,
you need to find the line. Yeah. I think it's good to. I realized like a few months ago when I had a bit of a lull that I haven't had a break from releasing music since I started Baitz when I was like 18, 19, when I properly started it. Like, I would say, like, I always remember releasing songs or preparing to release songs.
Yeah.
I've never had...
There was always something on the go.
Yeah, I've never had a break until maybe about... I think I put out, like, Funky Vanessa in, like, July, and then I didn't put anything out until November, and I just had a massive break, and and then I put a few ones out, then a big break, and then Whale House. I think I'm trying to have more of a break again because I want a collection of songs that are like ready to go. Like, I don't want to just release them when I'm ready anymore. Like, it gets tiring, and because the music industry moves so fast, why bother putting stuff out when it's just ready, when you can work on it and make it fit to how the industry, how music's looking at the moment. I just feel like having that collection of songs just helps a lot. And so, like, that's what I want to do. Like, now that Whale House is out, it's just like, all right, I'm just going to make a load of shit and see what I can put out in the next few months or so.
Exactly.
Just that pressure, I think, is what I'm trying to get at. Like, that pressure to put stuff out all the fucking time.
So is it a bad question to ask then? Like, is there anything new on the horizon?
No, there really isn't. Honestly, there's not, mate. Like, I know I've just put out this Whale House and it's got number 2. Like, I've got a few songs that are ready, and like I've got a couple stuff in the works. But honestly, mate, like, I've just got a load of unfinished projects that I need to get finished.
Yeah.
And I feel like 2020 was so exhausting that for a whole number of reasons, not just because of the situation, but because of personal stuff as well, like for everyone. Like, I just felt so exhausted. I didn't realize it until this year how exhausted 2020 made me. And so, like, I feel like that replicated in my music, because I did release, like, I know I put out like Funky Vanessa and some other stuff in 2020, Try Me with Duck, but I just felt so lost with like where I wanted to go musically, and now I'm finding that I'm having a lot more fun with it.
Yeah.
So
at the end of the day, if you're not enjoying it, it doesn't matter how well it's doing.
That was the problem I got. I got to a point where I wasn't enjoying it, and I was just doing it for the sake of doing music. And now I'm at a point where I'm kind of like a lot more chilled out about it. Like, I've got time to get to a good point. I'm at a pretty good point musically now. You know, people are starting to know who I am, which is weird. And I'm starting to release songs on labels, which is cool. But like, I'm going to get to a better point probably. And if I don't, then who cares? Yeah. So many people take it so seriously, and
eggs in one basket kind of thing.
Yeah, and it just
when it goes
means
south,
yeah, it just means that there's so many artists that come out who are just like the same copy paste fucking American douchebags who have a lot of money behind them, and
they've always got the same personality as well.
Yeah,
it's not just the music; it's almost like they're playing a character.
It's the same kind of, you know, professional shit of them standing in front of the fucking Empire State Building or whatever in their Gucci sunglasses and their fucking Louis Vuitton cargo pants, about to play the hardest Miami party to 300 The Situation survivors. Like,
these are the people that you really look up to. I can.
Yeah, absolutely. I love them all. No, but you do see the same types of personalities and DJs coming through, and it worries me a little bit, because I've always loved music from being so young, growing up with music from my dad, just for the way it makes you feel and the way it brings so much happiness and joy to people's lives. And I feel like people are turning that, especially in the industry, into like a business marketing ploy. Yeah.
If there's one thing that I'm happy about this pandemic, the situation, it's that I think the industry is going to come out of this taking less shit.
I hope so. I hope that artists. I hope that the industry takes less shit. I hope that artists are a bit more forward thinking, and
so a lot of what I'm seeing on like Twitter and social media is a lot of people saying, actually, I thought this was going to be the end. I thought not being in a touring band or like being a touring musician, I didn't know where my money was going to come from. And actually, I've realised that if I wanted to, I could stay home and I don't have to go on a tour and earn less than minimum wage and live in a van. And I don't have to put up with someone saying, today's food is a sandwich and you're playing 2 shows in one day, and I'm not going to be taken advantage of anymore. I'm seeing a lot of people with that kind of stance.
Yeah, having their own independency.
Yeah, like, oh, you want a merch cut? That's fine. We're going to take a bar cut then.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and I do think that, obviously, I'm not calling out venues, because obviously there are venues probably are being hit as well. But I do think the industry is going to be a lot more.
I think it's going to take less shit for sure. And I hope a lot of artists come out of it with more exciting ideas, especially electronically. And I hope that the taking those shit carries on as well between other artists off of Twitter and into more long form conversations, because there's so many like Twitter beefs, especially in like dubstep. There's so many Twitter beefs that happen all the fucking time of just like artists losing their mind. And it doesn't help when you've got it happening on a platform when you can only type out 140 characters. You can't.
To end up taking a screenshot of their notes and
exactly. And it's like, it's people, it's artists again. I think like what we were talking about, you know, being a bit too big for their boots and thinking that they can like have a influence over other people, whether it's politically or spiritually or whatever. And it's kind of like, you know what I mean? You know,
follow yourself for that, like, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Candles, do
bruv, you should see the dubstep scene. But that's what I mean. Like, it's just people. I hope people are more real. You know,
yeah.
I hope they're more real in their music, and I hope they realize that it's less about the tropes of the industry and more about the artist music, and it all being about the music.
I think that's very much a social media kind of driven thing, to be honest with you. Like,
absolutely.
Anything can cause it, like, but I know so many people that I say I know people, I actually don't. But I know of people, as we all do, that will make out that their life is something completely different to what it is.
Yeah, and it happens a lot with underground DJs and shit as well. Like, just thinking that they're a lot more than they are. I think people need to be a lot more real. I hope that people come together and keep these communities that they've built up over lockdown, and it not just go back to the same shit of, you know, just everybody for each other.
Yeah.
Just coming together and not worrying about shit too much and just enjoying music. Cheers.
I feel like we've hit a really nice point where we
have hit a nice point.
To the future.
Yeah. To the future. When's our collab coming? When are we going to do something? Honestly. I guess when we can actually meet. Or just send me a riff.
I'll send you a riff and you put a breakdown over. Saying that, I could send you something right now that is very Fever-like. I also sent it to Shaft, but when I send something to Shaft, I expect him not to even open the WeTransfer file. So, and I'm hoping he's listening to this because I'm calling him out.
Yeah, well, me and Shaft have had a collab for about 2 years, and now we're going to have to do a completely new one because I don't have Logic anymore. So Shaft, get on it. I do have Logic. It's just like I much prefer Ableton. I can use all of my plugins now because for some reason when I updated my Mac, like all my 64-bit plugins didn't work. Like
I haven't done it yet.
All of the Waves plugin, none of the Waves plugins worked for a few months. So for a few months, I had no CLA, I had no One Knob, I had no like Camel Fat.
I'm terrified to do it.
So, but when I got Ableton, when I got Ableton 10, all of my 64-bit plugins worked. So I don't know if it was just a Logic thing. I don't know if it was just because I had like an older version of Logic.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I cracked it. Who cares? I cracked Ableton as well. I will buy it at some point. Just too poor, innit?
But if anyone is listening that wants to know why that is so funny, as he said, an older version, I gave him a great thumbs up, and he did one back. And then 2 seconds later, he goes, "Yeah, cracks it."
It happened.
Oh, I paid for my Logic, and it doesn't work. So at the end of the day, it doesn't work because Logic.
How doesn't it work?
It's not really a Logic thing. It's more the fact that I am pushing Logic beyond its. As I'm sure you've probably experienced, I'm pushing Logic.
Is it like the CPU level and shit?
Yeah, it's at the point now where if I am mixing, I have to freeze. And when I mean freeze, I mean deep freeze tracks I'm running at the hardest processing power.
I feel like it might just be like your laptop, like not being able to cope with that amount of processing power.
Yeah.
I think you need like an actual Mac to be able to do that. But also I think like Logic is a bit piss poor with...
It's GarageBand 2.0 is what it is.
It's really... since using Ableton, I know we use Logic in completely different ways, but...
Yeah.
And Ableton I don't think really helps with your stuff because it's quite bad on the recording front, but like... It's so much better than Logic.
Yeah, I
in so many different ways. Like Logic is good. It's very user friendly, and you know, a lot of the stock plugins are very underrated. Space Designer is still my favorite reverb.
Space Designer to me is probably worth the price of Logic itself.
Well, because as well, I found out from watching a tutorial that you can use it as an impulse. You can use it as an IR response. No, sorry. It's called the convolution reverb. So you can put in your own impulse responses into the convolution reverb to make it sound cool. But what a lot of dubstep artists are doing is they're putting like they make like a serum patch. It's just square waves. Make a chord. Record that sound, put that in as an impulse response into the convolution reverb, and you can make like super heavy like growls sound really like light and fluffy. It's like a cool like sound design technique basically. So like Logic, Space Designer reverb for that is sick.
I love how you use this. Is probably the fact that I'm like a few drinks in now, but where it's like light and fluffy just takes me back to, I feel like I've got a degree in adjectives.
Yeah, pretty much.
This sounds deep and
wobbly. That's
contemporary production studies too. That's it.
Yeah.
This sounds word.
Did we waste 3 years of our life just to learn how to describe sounds?
I haven't wasted years of my life. I've just wasted money that I don't technically own, and I'm probably never going to pay back. So
yeah, we got some good experiences.
I'm so.
We wouldn't have met. This podcast wouldn't have happened.
Forget this podcast, mate. So much wouldn't have happened. Like, no, in all seriousness, I will. I nearly sued the unit. That's how much like.
Oh yeah.
That's how bad I would talk about our unit. But saying that, I'm so glad I went, and I wouldn't change where I went and the people that I've met for anything. So,
no, not at all.
At the end of the day, what's it all worth? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But we did learn some stuff like musically as well.
I feel like most of what I learned was...
It's just subconsciously learning it, I think.
You put yourself with the right people, and for me that was being in the space of people like you and Shaf.
Yeah, I think us three working together was an absolute blessing because we all taught each other so much.
It was mental when you think about it. Like
I still to this day message Shaf little audio clips of my own
and say, what key is this in?
And ask what key it's in.
Yes, I do as well. I was making money from clients saying, like, oh, yeah, 1 second. That they would be in the room with me because they're singing it and they're like, I'm not sure if this is the right note. I go, 1 sec, Shaf, just listen to that. And they're in the room with me. And Shaf goes, yeah, that's in A minor. And no, it's a little bit flat. And I'm not going to mention any names, but this woman or this man would go, yeah, he's right, actually, it's the wrong note. And then we get the right take. Which,
honestly,
me, it's hilarious.
No amount of money or exposure will ever pay back how much Shaf has helped me with my music career. Like,
we kind of honestly used to Shaf.
I honestly feel like Shaf, when I get my Whalehouse expenses in, I feel like I might as well just give you like a $5.
It's gonna shave.
I don't know if you did any work on it. Not that I'm gonna earn much more than a $5 from it. I'm really not. You get fuck all from streaming.
I've earned more money from Shaft's music than I have my own music.
How?
Because I'm credited for quite a bit of Shaft's music.
I haven't earned anything from Shaft's music.
Um,
I don't think I did anything for Shaft's music apart from roast him.
You might. I was going to say, like, find out what you've actually done, because for me, I wrote a lot of music with him, and
yeah, you still won't get much. You only get about I think 1,000 streams is like 10p or something ridiculous
exactly.
like that.
I genuinely, I remember. I mean, I don't think I put it on Instagram. It might have been like a story or something, but I remember cashing out all my money from like streaming
from
services.
DistroKid.
Yeah, and it was like £1.76.
I think I got about $3.
Oh yeah, it was in dollars as well. Actually,
yeah, I got about $3 from the 2 tunes that were on DistroKid. No, from the 3 tunes that were on DistroKid, and one of them I deleted. But it's still in my Spotify stats.
Oh god, it's funny to think about, isn't it? Actually, it's not. Like, buy music, please, people. Buy music.
Yeah, please buy my track. Link here. I know I'm not on camera.
It's 99p, but it's actually £1.19. But if you pay the 99p,
we wanna get number one.
Yeah, if you send an invoice, I will pay the remaining.
We won't get number one. I'm pretty much got number one, but
you've already shaved your head. Like
no, but like even in terms of the chart at the moment, because the tune that's at the top is always in the chart. So there's definitely without saying who the artist is, you can go look it up. I don't give a shit. But it's definitely paid for. Like, it's weird that it's in the chart. It was in the chart a lot when Duck's track was up there.
I see what you mean.
It's one of those tracks that's just always at the top of the chart, because basically how Beatport works is you buy the song X amount of times and it stays in its chart position. You know, that's how you climb up. So that's how I climbed from like. I think the Tuesday after it had come out, I was already in 29th place.
That's good.
And then Wednesday it got to 13th, and then Thursday it got to 7th, and then Friday.
I remember seeing your Instagram story every day, and it was like slowly going up the ladder. I was like, hang on a minute. Tuesday
Tuesday it was 29th. Wednesday it was 13th. Thursday it was 7th. Friday it was 3rd. Saturday it was 2nd.
And Sunday?
It's still in 2nd. I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. This might be an exclusive.
Can you imagine
if it's actually in 1st place and we find out on your podcast? Oh, come on. Oh, you're so shit, people.
Come on, Jamie. Where is it?
We're still in 2nd.
Still in 2nd.
Yeah. But to be in the top 10 as is, like, there's some good people in here. Like,
that is mental. Like,
there's some people in here like DJ Q and MPH. DJ Q's been about for absolute fucking years. Like, Skepsis is in it. We're above Skepsis. We're above Diplo. You know what? Actually, do you remember that Mickey Mouse edit that I did because of you?
The Ousler one, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, not the Ousler. Sorry,
the Skrillex
again
one.
Yeah.
So
why did I say the Ousler one?
Well, I mean, Skrillex is on Ousler.
I fully know why I said it, but like that's like me saying, "Oh, do you know that our friend like and retweet?" It's like, do you mean Shaft?
Yeah,
that's what I meant. Sorry.
Anyway, yeah. So you told me that the song "Again With Her" by Skrillex and Joyride sounded like Mickey Mouse in the synth, and so I did that edit. Do you want to know how many plays it's on?
It's in the multiple thousands now.
It's on 12,000 plays.
Yeah, I remember it hitting
on my second account,
which is hilarious.
And Diplo liked it, and it ended up in like a Skrillex subreddit.
I remember that.
And just to reiterate, it's on my second account. But I did get a lot of followers from it because I put a download, like I put a download link on it, and it's like you have to follow my main account to download it. So
yeah, that actually reminds me. I remember, the Spotify Wrapped every year.
Yeah.
I remember opening mine as like a joke because it was like it's basically saying like, congratulations, you've grown like 1,000%. I'm like, well, it didn't exist last year, so I made a joke out of it. And obviously, like, shafted. Well, I was like, oh, go on, Shaft. I remember looking at yours, and I had to like double take because I was like, hang on a minute. What's happened to Luke this year?
11,000 Spotify listeners from last year.
Massively.
I mean, a lot of that was down to the track. A lot of it was down to Try Me, which came out on MA in April, and that got, I think, in total. I'm on my Spotify for Artists now.
Yeah.
So that got 10.7k at this current time. So
609 hours, 4.2 thousand listeners, 69 countries.
I love looking at the stats and stuff for like just in general. Like Whale House at the moment, 280 streams, which is pretty good. Got added to some big playlists as well.
Oh, I just had a notification that my Mac is going to lose battery soon, so I'll probably have to.
This is the end of.
Unfortunately, it's been quite long. To be fair,
we've been on like 2 hours.
We genuinely have. Like,
I don't know how
this is
people.
Exactly what I want to repeat when we go to the pub in April.
I don't know how people do this for like 3. I'm already like tired.
Yeah. I like the thing is, I didn't know it's been that long, but at the same time, I'm thinking, oh my god, that means somebody out there has listened this long for some reason.
Definitely Shaft.
Definitely Shaft. I think Jeff will listen this long as well.
Yeah, there'll be people listening. We'll share it out. It's fine. I'd love to come back on. I don't feel like we talked enough about Baitz.
We just talked. It's literally like it was a catch-up session, and I feel kind of
I mean, bring me back on.
I think next time you've got a big gig going on,
10 likes, and I'll come back on.
And to be honest,
20 likes and Tom will shave his head.
Nah. You think I'm worth 20 likes? Cheers, man.
Yeah, that's all right. All right, fine. 10. 15.
That's more like it. In all seriousness, I think just getting you, me, Luke, Jack,
I'm Luke,
Brendan. So I meant Shaft. Because this is the problem with drinking while you're trying to be.
It is also like 1:45.
It is. It's probably the best time to realise how long we've been doing this. My God.
Yeah.
Still though, I'm very, very thankful that you cared to join us.
It's been a pleasure to be here, mate. Legit, I've been so desperate to get on a podcast. Because I feel like since about October, where I just completely lost my head, like I've just had such a nice new outlook, and I like talking. I like talking about I like talking about music industry and seeing.
That's what I've realised. Like a lot of people think like a podcast has to be so up and out there, when actually you just want to listen to people having a chat half the time, don't you?
Yeah, mate. Like, literally, I know I mentioned him so much, but literally listening to Joe Rogan just sit down with his mates and talk for like 3.5 hours about the shit that they care about and not give a fuck about what anyone else thinks is just like, it's just cool. And this is exactly what we've done, and it's been great.
Yeah. So,
and we need to do it.
Podcast summarized has been Whale House is out. You need
Whale
to go
House
and
is
buy it.
out. Buy it on
Shaved his
Beat.
head.
Buy it on Beatport. I've shaved my head.
He didn't, but he also did kind of get into a fight with a 14-year-old, but it's fine because he defended me doing so.
Yeah.
We've talked the situation.
We've talked about the situation, and I'm coming back for part 2. We'll have
situation part 2.
Not the situation part 2, but the Baitz.
I know what you meant.
You never know. We could still be in this next year. We'll just make it.
Oh, foreshadowing. Here we go.
The next time Boris comes out on his fucking podium and just says, "Psych, I was wrong," like, we'll start part 2.
Psych. Dominic Cummings, like, Master.
Oh, God. Why is Matt like still alive?
Why is he still a thing? Alive? That's alive and still
just a thing.
Two very different things. I think he's still a thing because we have the ability to change.
We're about to get political, and this is going to go on for another half an hour.
I can't do that.
No, we're wrapping it up. Say your last nice words.
I'm stopping recording. So give us the best Batesy one-liner you've ever given.
No.